What if they never kissed anyone else, never touched anyone, never even said I love you, but something still felt wrong? A message they deleted, a flirty emoji, a gut feeling you couldn't explain, and when you brought it up, they called you insecure. That's micro-cheating. And just because it's subtle doesn't mean it doesn't hurt like hell. Let's talk about it. Micro-cheating is any behavior that crosses an emotional line, even if it doesn't involve physical intimacy. It's the quiet betrayal people don't admit to, because technically they didn't cheat. But they did something else. They opened the door to someone else, while you were still standing on the other side. Messaging someone who flirts with you. You know they're into you, and you keep replying. Not to be polite, but because part of you likes it. You don't shut it down. You leave the window cracked open. Secretly corresponding or meeting someone. Maybe it's just a friend, but if you're hiding it from your partner, ask yourself why. Secrecy is never innocent. Telling people you're single or acting like it. Maybe they didn't say the words, but they didn't wear the ring. They flirted, smiled a little too long, and let someone else believe they were available. Keeping in touch with an ex. Not for closure, not for healing, just because it feels good to know someone still wants you. Creating or keeping profiles on dating sites. Even if they never meet anyone, they're still swiping, still browsing, still fantasizing about someone who isn't you. Sending someone pictures of yourself. Not nudes, not sexual, just enough to say, look at me. When attention is currency, this is a transaction. Following thirst trap accounts or inappropriate content. Consistently following, liking, or engaging with sexual content from people they're attracted to. It's feeding a craving for attention and fantasy. Discussing your intimate desires with someone else. Not your partner, but someone who makes your heart race. This is emotional sex, and sometimes it cuts even deeper than the physical. Turning to someone else for emotional needs. They don't confide in you anymore. They confide in her. They vent to him. They build intimacy elsewhere and leave you on the surface. Micro-cheating hurts because it violates the emotional contract of the relationship. It breaks the part of the bond that says, I choose you, not just with my body, but with my energy, my attention, and my intentions. And for people who've survived emotional abuse, especially narcissistic abuse, it can be devastating. Narcissists don't start with cheating. They start with confusion. Gaslighting, breadcrumbing, mixed signals. It's all designed to keep you chasing clarity. So when micro-cheating enters the picture, it doesn't just feel like betrayal. It feels like confirmation. Narcissists don't micro-cheat by accident. They do it strategically. Sometimes it's to keep options open. Other times, it's to make you feel insecure, so they stay in control. It's subtle, it's deniable, but it's not innocent. They'll flirt in front of you and call it a joke. They'll comment on someone's photo and call you jealous. They'll mention their friend one too many times, just enough to make you feel like you're competing for their attention. It's a power move disguised as casual behavior. They want you off balance. They want you wondering. They want you to feel small, so you try harder to keep them. It gives them a constant stream of external validation, while keeping you hooked in confusion. If you get upset, they play the victim. If you stay quiet, they keep going. And through it all, they get what they really want. Leverage. Emotional leverage over you. That's not love. That's manipulation. When you bring it up, it doesn't get better. It gets flipped. You're too controlling. You're reading into things. You're so insecure, it's not attractive. Suddenly, you're the problem. Not the secrecy, not the late-night messages, not the lies or the flirting. That's what gaslighting does. It takes your gut instinct and turns it into a weapon against you. And the longer you stay in it, the more you start to doubt your own reality. It doesn't just make you question your partner, it makes you question yourself. You start comparing, you start obsessing. You start wondering if you're asking for too much, when really you were asking for the bare minimum: respect, loyalty, transparency. That's what makes micro-cheating so cruel. It doesn't just hurt, it chips away at the part of you that believed you were enough. People will say you're being insecure, but here's the truth. Insecurity is fear without evidence. Awareness is what you feel when your gut tells you something's off, because it is. And awareness is not weakness, it's your protection. So, how do you know if what you're seeing is micro-cheating, or if it's just an old wound being triggered? Start here. Are they being transparent? Do they include you in their digital life, their stories, their emotional world? Or do you feel like there's a version of them that only other people get to see? Micro-cheating isn't about policing someone's freedom. It's about the presence or absence of emotional honesty. If you feel crazy, confused, or constantly like you're the jealous one, that's not you being insecure. That's your nervous system responding to rational instability. And if someone truly loves you, they won't make loyalty feel like a guessing game. Let's get one thing straight. You don't need your partner to sleep with someone else in order to feel betrayed. You don't need receipts to validate your pain. You don't need permission to say, this doesn't feel okay. Because micro-cheating is cheating, on an emotional level. And if they're more loyal to the people in their DMs than the person standing beside them, that's not love. If you feel like you're in competition with their phone, you're not crazy, you're not dramatic, you're paying attention. And that's something they hoped you'd stop doing, but you didn't stop. You noticed. And now you're free to decide what truth means for you.
He told me I was crazy for being upset that he still liked every one of his ex's bikini photos. He kept saying they were just friends, but deleted every conversation they had. I found out he had a second Instagram account, just to follow women I didn't know. He said I was insecure. When I asked why he told a girl he was single at the bar,
she said he was just a friend, but she told him everything. Her day, her secrets, her feelings, stuff she never shared with me anymore. I saw the way she smiled at her phone when he texted. I heard her laugh in ways she didn't with me. And when I brought it up, she called me insecure, said I was overthinking it. But every time I saw that name pop up, it felt like getting kicked in the chest. I wasn't jealous, I was heartbroken. Because I was right there, loving someone who had already left, emotionally.
These aren't extreme cases. They're normal stories for people who've been micro-cheated on. And the hardest part? It's not just the betrayal. It's how easily it gets dismissed. If this hits home, drop a comment, tell me your story. What did micro-cheating look like in your life? And if you're ready to understand more about emotional betrayal, narcissistic abuse, or healing after manipulation, subscribe. This isn't just a channel. It's a space for people who were told their pain was too much. We see you here.